Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Zaria McQueen, and if you would like to see how I got my 4x4 lace closure to look like a frontal girl, then keep on watching. That I'll be customizing today is courtesy of Vivi Babi Wig. I received their Brazilian straight 150% density 24-inch wig with a 4x4 closure. So right now I'm unboxing it, showing you how that lace looks. It's not super dense, which I really did appreciate, but of course, you know, you gotta go and tweeze it. I like that the hair is so soft, so silky. That's what I'm showing you right now, straight off the box. This hair is a dream. As you can see, it's in its natural hair color and no knots, no tangles. There are 4 combs in this wig as well as an adjustable band. So as you see, 4x4 closure, a little lace there, which is okay. We're gonna make it work. So of course I'm gonna go ahead and use my quick blue bleach and 30 volume developer to bleach my knots. Right now I'm showing you how you basically don't want your bleach mixture to look, okay? Right now it's way too runny, there's too much developer, and if you were to apply that to your lace, it's just gonna seep right through and bleach your roots rather than just the knots. So I went ahead and added more bleach, and that's all you have to do. No more developer in this state. Gonna mix it up, and then as you'll see, it gets really thick so that when you apply it to the lace, it's just on those knots and not going all in your roots, because nobody wants blonde roots, one, and nobody wants to do the extra work of, you know, going back and fixing it. It is fixable, but it's not something that we necessarily want, you know? So right now it is perfect, nice and thick, and I'm using a butter knife opposed to a brush because I feel like whenever I use the brush, it just kind of rakes and picks up hairs through the holes in the lace, and then you're gonna have random blonde, you know, strands of hair. Nobody wants that. It's not too bad, but it's just not something that we prefer at this stage in our lace game, y'all. We don't need that. So I'm just going to use the butter knife to kind of smear the mixture on, and because it's so thick, it's staying right on that lace and right on the knots and not all in my roots. And honestly, y'all, I left the bleach on the lace, I would say about an hour, because my show Love After Lockup, if you know me, you know I love Love After Lockup. So I was watching that and I just couldn't miss it. I'm sorry, I couldn't chance it on the commercials. So I did leave it on for a long time rather than the 15 minutes, 30 minutes that I usually do. And honestly, I feel like it came out really good. Like, I don't know, not to toot my own horn, but it came out really nice. So I'm really happy with these results. If you want to leave it on for this long, you definitely can, but I would recommend going back in and checking. Alright, so now it's time to pluck. So with your tweezers, I'm showing you, you want to have that angle, that point, that tip facing down, opposed to like this where it's kind of flat, laying flat against the lace. You want it to be pointing up and you want the tip facing. So this way it's more precise and you'll actually get the hairs. And my major tip is try not to stay in the same spot. When you stay in the same spot and keep plucking that one spot, that's what leads to bald spots, and we do not want that. We want natural but not bald. And you know, some videos and some looks that we see on Instagram, you know, it has that very thinned out look, but that's really not what I go for. That's not what I prefer, because honestly the hair is gonna shed anyway, so you kind of want to have some longevity, and that's why I try not to over pluck too much. So I try to go in a windshield wiper motion and not stay in the same spot. You know, don't keep plucking that one spot. Go back and forth, back and forth. This way it'll be thinned out evenly and you don't have those random patches of, you know, bald spots, because you can't add back but you can take away. So that's something that to keep in mind. And also, I don't like to over pluck when I'm first customizing it, because you know the hair's gonna thin itself out, it's gonna shed, it's inevitable. So I just try to keep some longevity in my lace by not plucking way too much when I'm first customizing it, if that makes sense, because it's gonna thin out anyway. So you just want to give it a nice thinned out effect, but not too thinned out. You know, it's all your preference, but this is how I like to do it. And so to really get that frontal look, I like to part out from the front after I pluck there, and then I pluck behind there, and then I repeat that process. You can honestly repeat this process all through the whole closure, but I like to go like, I say 3 steps back, because you'll see I pluck 3 times. Like you just pluck behind where you plucked before, part that out, go behind, pluck some more, then part it out again. All up to you, but that's what I'm doing here. And make sure you have the tweezers in the right position so that you get a nice precise pluck. Make sure you're picking up hairs. And as you can see, while I'm, you know, combing through to get those loose hairs out, there's already a difference. I definitely see the difference. So now I'm just showing you that I'm parting where I already plucked, and I'm going behind that to keep giving that, you know, that frontal look how we want it to turn out. So now when I feel like I plucked enough, this is when I'm going in with some mousse to train my part, and I really see the difference. I love how it looks. You can honestly stop here. You do not have to add the baby hairs if you don't want to, but I did go ahead and do some. Not a lot, but yeah, right now I'm just training my part, training how it looks, and I'm using mousse to do that. So I went ahead and styled the hair. I put some crimps in it. I do have a video of me showing you how to crimp your hair. I will leave the tool that I use down below, and I will link that video that shows you a more in-depth crimping tutorial kinda. It was really easy, but look how beautiful the hair is. Like, look at that luster. I didn't even use my shine spray, and that's just the hair styled and looking amazing. So now let's install it. I'm using Bold Hold Active. I have this little squeeze tube, and I'm sorry about this angle. Yeah, I know I've had better angles, but whatever. Let's just go with it. So I'm gonna apply it just how the directions on the Bold Hold says. I went ahead and used 2 layers, and I highly recommend, if you don't have one, to get the eyelash fan that, you know, it's the little hand fan. I like to use that rather than, you know, pulling out the big old blow dry and all of that, and the air is always cool with the fan. So, you know, just go ahead and do that. And a major tip with using Bold Hold is do not put your lace on it while it is still white, because it will stay white under. Okay, so you just have to make sure that you use your fan, apply thin layers, and only put your lace on top of the glue once it's completely clear. when I apply the lace, I like to use my comb, the teeth of the comb, to kind of press the lace down, just to make sure that everything is nice and in place and everything is adhered. Try not to use your fingers, because the oils in your fingers, especially if you already have on makeup, will kind of mess up the hold and how it looks. So I just make sure I'm using a comb. Then I go in with the eyelash fan to cool it a little bit before I go ahead and use that little strip to tie it down and then do the rest of my makeup. Alright, so now it's time for the baby hairs. I really apologize for this angle, like I'm so sorry. I did not realize that I was kind of in between the mirrors. But yeah, so now you're gonna go ahead and part your baby hairs out. But a key to getting that look that we're going for is not to part the baby hair straight across, like that front strip of hair. You don't want to go straight across. You want to try to do it at a triangle, at an angle. So you kind of see that now. And now I'm using the hot comb to basically train it and get it laid so that the hair lays the way that I want it to. And yeah, I really feel like I was watching a YouTuber, her name is Paris Danielle, and in one of her videos she just happened to mention to part it in a triangle, and I'm like, oh my god, a light bulb went off. And it really does make a difference opposed to just parting out the baby hairs, you know, straight across. I don't know what difference it makes, but it makes a big one in the final look. Now I'm using the Got To Be gel in the black bottle. I really feel like it makes a difference between the black and the yellow bottle, I'm just saying. And I'm gonna apply that to my baby hairs. And as you'll see in the video, I kind of use some, whatever I have left on the comb, to basically part back the rest of the hair so that it's like a nice definition, nice separation between the baby hairs and the rest of the hairline. Already I see a big difference. And a key thing I learned while, you know, doing this process is to, I don't know, it might have been clear to y'all, but I didn't do this before, is to do the baby hairs after you glue everything down. At first I used to think, okay, if I already part out my baby hairs and I, you know, train it on the wig head, it'll be easier to apply. But no, it makes it a little harder, because then that hair that you have as the baby hairs gets all in the glue, it's all sticky, it's a crusty mess, and it just makes it so hard. But when you already glue the hair down, tie it down, it's nice and dry, and then you go ahead and lay down your baby hairs, it really makes such a difference. It's a cleaner application, it's not all crusty. Like, look at that, amazing, look at that. So I just repeated that process on the other side. As you know, part it at an angle, part it in a triangle, use the hot comb to help define it and lay it the way that you want to lay it, and use that Got To Be. It really does make a big difference parting it at a triangle. Next time you go and apply your wig, just think of me, triangle. And here is the final look, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. My lip gloss, eyebrow product, and the mascara, my bottom lashes are all from my brand Z Minx. I'll leave all the details down below, as well as links to this hair. And I hope that you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in my next one.